as research and development.
Question number 6, Eugenie Sage.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question is to the Minister of Conservation and asks, why did he grant Bathurst Resources access application for an opencast coal mine on conservation land a day before the Crown Minerals Act 1991 changed to require public consultation?
Honourable Dr Nick Smith.
Mr. Speaker, there are 3 reasons. Firstly, the access application was lodged in 2008 and delaying its consideration further because of a subsequent legislative change is not good process. I advised all parties some time ago that I intended to make the decision under the existing legislation. Secondly, this mining proposal has been subject to extensive public consultation and no one can credibly argue that they had no opportunity to have a say. Thirdly, the parties supporting and opposing the mine on the Denniston Plateau were working hard to reach a compromise. I wanted to give the best chance of success, so waited until their last scheduled meeting on the 16th of May. Agreement was not able to be reached. I made my decision on the 21st of May. The legislative change took effect on the 24th of May.
Supplementary question, Eugenie Sage.
Given that as Minister, he is responsible for conservation land on behalf of all New Zealanders, shouldn't the general public have been able to give him their views on a mine proposal that his own department says, and I quote, would present a significant and permanent loss of currently high conservation values?
Speaker.
Honourable Dr Nick Smith.
The member is very selective in what she quotes from the 240-page report from the department that also pointed out the very significant conservation benefits from the compensation package. In terms of the public having a say, I would note that the proposal for the mine was publicly advertised all the way back in 2010. It was heard by independent commissioners and they approved it. It has subsequently been appealed to the Environment Court, to the High Court, and my understanding is there's also an appeal out on 2 other issues in other courts. For the member to argue the public has not had a say is simply being dishonest.
Supplementary question, Eugenie Sage.
Does he agree with the conclusions of his own department that the mine would present a significant and permanent loss of currently high conservation values, including a loss of nationally significant wetlands within the mine footprint, a loss of distinctive assemblages of rare and threatened plant species not recorded elsewhere on the Denniston Plateau, the permanent loss of originally rare sandstone pavement ecosystems, and the list goes on?
Honourable
Mr.
Dr
Speaker,
Nick Smith.
the department is responsible for 9 million hectares of New Zealand. It's classified into national parks, into conservation parks, and into 12 different categories of reserve and sanctuary. The Denniston Plateau is the lowest of all those categories. The member makes reference to the wetland and lake. I visited the site and was pointed out to me by DOC that the lake was created by a dam that was put in place by previous miners. If you propose to create the dam today, the Greens would be objecting and protesting. The final point I would make is that the mine only takes up 5% of the Denniston Plateau area. There is a case for protecting part of the Denniston Plateau. That is something I'm happy to consider in future.
Order. Eugenie Sage, supplementary question.
Thank you. Isn't the lack of public consultation to the Minister of Conservation, separate from the resource management, on Bathurst access application just another example of the government looking after foreign corporates at the expense of ordinary New Zealanders and the public conservation estate?
Honourable Dr Nick Smith.
The part I find extraordinary about the Green Party is I get lectured on local democracy. Well, the local council strongly supports the mine. The local member of parliament sometimes supports the mine. For the Green Party to argue that an application that's been before the process for over 4 years has been a rushed process really just shows what a ridiculous party we have in the corner of the Parliament.
Question number 7, the Honourable Shane Jones.
Mr. Speaker, to the Minister for Economic